Hey, it's James Raby. We have to say something here, but I don't want to say much. Thanks for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, Radio On Demand podcast. Love you.
James Raby with the smile of the day, and the smile of the day is goats. I think it is absolutely hilarious and awesome that if you want to have your Christmas tree taken care of, gotten rid of in a very natural way, there's a place in Faribault that handles that. Goat Dispatch. Yeah. And we're going to talk to the guy in about an hour on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show that owns it. And his name is Jake, and he gets the trees gathered at the dog park, and then the goats eat it. And they go at it, man. You want to see video of it? Check it on the Y105 FM app. I put it up yesterday. It is such a cute story, but it's also fun to watch the goats go at it. It's definitely a smile of the day on Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. How's the weather going to be for the rest of the week? Let's find out for New Year's Eve on Y105 FM next.
Getting you through the workday with more variety.
Eve, really. It's going to be a pretty decent day, partly sunny, and a high should be around 23. It is 19. I'm James Raby on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, and we are doing what we usually do on Wednesday, but it's been a wacky week, and so we're doing, what would you say, Am I the Jerkhead Crap Face today? And what you do is you listen to the story, and if you got an opinion, you feel free to call in 507-292-1053. Here's what she says. Am I the jerkhead crap face for not spending Christmas this year in the hospital with my daughter? My 39-year-old, me, a 39-year-old female, my daughter, who's 16, has a sensitive stomach ever since she was a kid. There are certain foods that will upset her stomach to the point where she's unable to stop throwing up. Her trigger foods are soda and other carbonated drinks, chips, Cheetos, and other similar processed snacks. Anything oily or fried, and sadly, most sweets. Unfortunately, this is exactly the kind of stuff that my daughter loves to eat the most. And as horrible as she feels after, she will not cut these trigger foods out of her diet. So cue Christmas, where all the family got together, and she had many options, delicious options that she says she loves, but she only ate the trigger foods that were available on the table with the whole family. And of course, within an hour, we were in the hospital because she couldn't stop throwing up. She had said, I don't care. It's Christmas. It comes once a year. I'm going to live a little. And I said, but you go to the hospital every time you do this. I don't care. So, unlike all the previous times when something like this happened, this time I chose to spend my Christmas relaxing at home with the rest of the family and not in the hospital by my daughter's side. I kept in touch with her through calls and texts and told her that if she needed anything, a member of the family would be happy to help her out. But I made it clear I would not be visiting her during her stay. My daughter didn't like this too well. She cried every time we talked on the phone, begged me to come over, told me how horrible I was for abandoning her there alone, and so on. Most of our family didn't take my side either, and I'm not surprised, I guess. And during the past few days, I got called everything from a little extreme to downright cruel and heartless. Am I the jerkhead crap face here? What do you think? 507-292-1053. Wendy Barnett on the Facebook page said, don't ask for judgment from people. And then Jenny Landon said, nope, she is old enough to understand the consequences of her actions. Time to start showing her the bill that results with her choices as well. You know, I think that's interesting. I don't think you expect the kid to pay the bill, but maybe the teenager doesn't have any idea how much it costs to keep doing this. Now, there could be a whole lot of other stuff in place, so maybe that's not the best move, but I bet the kid has no idea what it costs to stay at the hospital over and over and over again. And I would never expect a kid to pay that, right? They're kids. They're kids. She's 16, you know? Maybe it's a form of her acting out. I don't know. But I think that would be an interesting thing. So what do you think? 507-292-1053. Is the mom the jerkhead crap face?
You don't need special gadgets to be a hero with unlimited 1.5% cash back.
Felt success before. Feel it now, because the high has just been switched by the National Weather Service from 23 to 19, and we hit 19 right now. We have succeeded in hitting our daily high. Should be sunny today. Hi, it's James Raby. It's the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, and it's Am I the Jerkhead Crap Face? The short version is daughter since she's a little girl, has food issues where certain trigger foods like greasy stuff, oily stuff, sugary stuff, a lot of foods, a lot of mostly snack type foods, trigger her into the situation where she throws up so much she has to go to the hospital. She can't stop vomiting, right? Okay, but she does not stop as a 16-year-old now, does not stop eating these trigger foods and goes to the hospital all the time. And Mom on Christmas was like, you did this to yourself. Okay, this time I'm not staying at the hospital with you. We've gone to the hospital too many times in the last 3-4 years, and I'm not going to ruin my Christmas because you refuse to take care of yourself. Bridget Burkhart answered on the Y105 FM Facebook page saying, why is the mother serving trigger foods? And Paige below said, well, maybe the other folks brought it because it was a Christmas dinner. And maybe it was a big potluck thing. All right, well, that's entirely possible. On the one hand, yes, you are the jerk-fed crap face. You're not. Rather, you're on one hand, yes, you're not the jerkhead crap face. You warned her, I guess. On the other hand, she's only 16, says Gabandria, and she'll remember this for the rest of her life. Next time you're in the hospital, she might not show up for you. She might not, even if it's not the same thing. You absolutely have created a moment in that daughter's life. Mary says, sounds like the daughter needs to be seen by a doctor to figure out her sensitive stomach. My sister Kate says, I'm sorry, but part of growing up is learning that there are consequences for your actions. Why should the mother drop everything every time the daughter pulls this stunt? Also, where are these judgmental family members? Why couldn't they take turns being with her at the hospital? Well, you know what? That is something that you always think about, right? Whenever you hear one of these kind of scenarios where the family's outraged, it turns out that a lot of the family was there when whatever it was that happened, and they could take part. They could help out. Or you're not going to take your ex-father's blah, blah, blah daughter in that's a third cousin from the 4th Duke of Windsor? No, I'm not going to do it. Family is outraged. Well, you could take her in. Well, no, it doesn't fit our lifestyle. Jacqueline Carson said, it mentioned spending Christmas with her family. Does that mean all the other children would be abandoned if she was with her 16-year-old? And Jules Michael Bloom said something. She's always so wonderful with her comments. I'm still trying to figure out why all these processed trigger foods were there in the first place. Temptation is hard for all of us, but a teen? Absolutely. Some more of your responses coming up on Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
At Work Variety sounds like this.
FM weather for today, pretty nice. Partly sunny and 19. Yeah, it's going to be 23, I know. We're very excited about that 23. But what are you going to do? Tonight, partly cloudy and a low should be 18. And then quickly warm up by morning. Partly sunny where we're going to have a chance of rain and snow in the afternoon on New Year's Eve. The high should be 36. If you're out at a Halloween party, if you're out at a New Year's party, and you're not sure what it's like to drive home, open the Y105 FM app. We got your road conditions right there. By New Year's Day, going to be sunny and 34. Again, for today, sunny and 19. It is 19. We've hit our high already. We are amazing. And on the way on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, Goat Man Jake Langslag will be with us in about 13 minutes, and we're going to get the lowdown on the power of the Christmas goats right here in southeastern Minnesota.
It's Feel Good Friday. Y105 FM with Rochester's best variety.
Read the lyrics carefully. It's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. I'm James Raby, and welcome to the moment where we discover the magic of the Christmas goats. Jacob Langslag is on the phone with me from Goat Dispatch in Faribault. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing great.
I am so glad you were able to call this morning because we had a chat last night, and first of all, you got a cool thing going on, but also you're funny.
Well, thanks.
You bet. So explain real quick what happens in Faribault around this time of year with Christmas trees.
Yeah, everyone looks at their tree, tries to get it out of their house and what to do with it. And in Faribault, you have an option of bringing it to the local dog park, throw it in a pile, and then I come there and pick through the trees, finding the tastiest ones. Sometimes I take a bite out of them myself to make sure they taste good and throw them in a trailer. Just kidding, of course, and then give them to the goats and let them go to town, and the goats love them, and it's a great way to recycle the trees.
And it's not like one or two goats you have when you get home to the ranch, to the farm.
No, in the past I've had as many as 400, 500, 600 goats in different spots. I have goats all over. If I find any place you can stick a goat, I'll put a goat there. So we put a pretty big number. I've had department stores bring whole semis of Christmas trees. 200, 300, 400 at a time. So this is not no small scale operation.
I'm. When we talked last night, I was blown away by how popular this is becoming. You heard about it from a guy in Arizona, and then you probably were the first in Minnesota to do it.
Yeah, I just kind of caught the national news and saw the flurry of activity the guy in Arizona was getting. I'll try that in Minnesota, and then kind of kicked it off here. And now we're seeing all kinds of spawning going on a lot of different communities around here, which is great. There's a lot of Christmas trees. My goats can't eat them all, so the more we spread them out, the better.
And speaking of spread them out, you have them all over the country and here in Rochester, and you said the parks, right?
Yeah, so we had the City of Rochester contract this last summer, and we worked Quarry Hill Park, a bunch of other parks, Bear Creek Park, a bunch of other ones around town. And so we've been working in Rochester actually since the beginning of my business, and since I started about 8, 9, 10 years ago, I forget. So I've been in Rochester for quite a while.
And something a lot of homeowners have a big hate on for, and maybe you didn't know this existed, but there is a video about goats eating the buckthorn at Quarry Hill.
Real great video. I don't know if you can link that up from Quarry Hill Park that we shot this year, kind of doing a parody and a music video with goats eating buckthorn. And yeah, it's a really good educational video. But goats, we get all kinds of clients that want not only buckthorn, but they have poison ivy, thorns, all kinds of stuff in there on their property. They just want to clear it out, and the goats do a really good job of eating that up. And the goats really enjoy doing it too, and they have a really good quality of life.
Have you thought about putting together packages like the buckthorn package, where you'll bring X number of goats for X number of dollars, and you can buy 2 years worth of treatment? Because it takes a while to really get rid of the buckthorn.
Yeah, over time, just like any other, if you're a person's out there cutting or mowing or whatever method you're using, goats are just another tool in the toolbox. And, it takes time. Every year that gets better and better, and we do that. We kind of charge by the acre and do free estimates over Google, polygons and stuff like that, and give people ideas of what it's going to be. And people really look forward to having them back year after year. We name all our goats, all 600 and some have names in their ears and stuff, and people really look forward to seeing them come over, having people over on the decks, having a beer and watching the goats go to town.
Where have you brought goats around the country?
I've got goats working on islands in northern Minnesota. I throw them in a boat and chuck them, drive across, and throw them out there. I've got goats working in Kansas. So I've got goats everywhere, man.
And when you were young, did you think, I want to be the goat dispatch guy?
No, this is a total sideline gig. I borrowed some goats from my high school friend, and I'm a biologist. I went to school for ecology and biology, and it was a total organic thing that just happened in my yard, and I did it. And first, my neighbors are driving by like, "Man, you're crazy having your goats in your woods, and they're going to wreck it and all that." And the next thing I know, they're driving by like, "Looking pretty good. Why don't you come to my house?" And then the next thing I know, I'm volunteering at a park. The next thing I know, it blows up, and I don't see any end in sight. I mean, we got a huge demand, and we're already booking next year and probably the year after that. So it's pretty cool how it just really took off.
Well, and that thing about goats destroying property, I had to look up what goats actually like eating. And it turns out they don't really like eating tin cans, but they like feeling stuff and checking things out with their mouth. But they really have a pretty bland diet, come to think of it.
Yeah, and that's what I enjoy the most is actually they do have a hierarchy and an order. And even with the Christmas trees, I mean, there's certain ones that eat more, than others. And when you put them in the woods, that's, I get them to go at the certain time of year, at the certain types of plants we're going after. They're not really hurting the big oak trees and that kind of stuff. So there's definitely an order of preference and taste. And goats kind of get a bad rap to think they just eat everything at will and eat metal and all that kind of stuff, and it's not the case.
Do they ever ask for Grey Poupon or ask you for a toothbrush?
No, when we're trying to put them back in, we usually use pretzels. They love Doritos, Funyuns. I've had people try to feed them Chipotle, even though I'm scolding them, because you usually don't want to be feeding them on the job, because then, they start eating Chipotle versus eating buckthorn. So try to clamp that down, but they'll eat all kinds of stuff in that regard.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like us to know about goats, Jake, as long as I got you on the phone?
Yeah, I guess you can check out our website, goatdispatch.com, and we've got a bunch. I also got a YouTube channel with all kinds of fun goat videos, and maybe they can get that check out that other video from Corey Hill, because I think that's a pretty funny one with that music parody of Weird Al, "Eat It." I think it's really kind of a fun one for people to watch.
Yeah, that's actually a parody of a real song. I'd never thought about it that way.
A parody of a parody. You're right. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Yeah, you can see all these links, all these videos on the Y105 FM app. Just tap on the story, and links to the Goat Dispatch business are there too. Thanks for chatting with me this morning, and I hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve.
Yeah, you too. Call me anytime you want to talk goats.
Thanks, man. Take care. And you want to talk goats all the time, right? This is Y105 FM's Early Morning Show, kicking off the 8 a.m. All Music Hour next.
Y105 FM with Rochester's best variety.
From the kennel to the coop, whatever the season, Fleet Farm has everything.
If you're going to Disney in 2023, look out! They're going to start busting some heads. Hi, it's James Raby. You're listening to Y105 FM's Early Morning Show, and Disney warns park patrons to behave themselves. The New York Post newspaper says there has recently been an uptick in fights at Disney parks. Duh, we hear about this all the time now. And apparently Disney has put out notice saying, hey, behave or we'll kick you out. Wasn't that always the rule? Were they not kicking these doughheads out? I mean, Disney, come on. If anyone has the ability to have the steel-toed boot of authority kicking folks out of that park, it's you. Make it a family place. Good Lord. And people are paying. I just read the other day that people are going into debt to visit Disney, a 5-day vacation, $6,000. And I think it's great to travel, see the world, and give your kids options and stuff. But, man, if you have to go into debt to travel to Disney, wait until you don't have to go into debt to do it. I'm just saying, it's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
You don't need special.
Me, James Raby, and everyone today on Y105 FM. It is the Early Morning Show, and I'm about to do a rabies shots. That's doughheads in the news. I got 2 of them. Chick-fil-A called police on a man over sauce, a woman over sauce. There's a Chick-fil-A in Nevada, and apparently the person took a bunch of sauces, and the people that run the place in Nevada didn't like that, and they called the police on them. It's like, what? Good luck getting them. The sauce thieves. Good Lord. And a rabies shot to me. I am definitely old enough to know better, and I had this eye surgery, and everything is progressing really well with it. Thank you very much. And Diana's been in town, and so she picks me up and gives me a ride to work. And then she parks where I usually park, and she walks to work 2 blocks to mail. Walks to work 2 blocks to mail. Well, in the afternoon, I go home. Once I finish all the stuff I have to do in the studio, I can write stories from home and do show prep and stuff from home. And so I walk home. Yesterday, minding my business, thinking nothing of it, I walked between, the pizza place, the Pasquale's Pizza Place, and Bar, the exercise place, that little covered spot. Well, the street looked perfectly clear, but of course it's covered, so it's not getting any sun, and it was not clear. It was the kind of ice you get into on the highway that makes you go through and you're in the ditch. No choices, just right in the ditch. That was me, except boom, right on the ground. Yeah, a week and a couple days after I had my retina reattached. Luckily, my head didn't hit the ground. There was not a lot of body shaking. I guess I must have a pretty low center of gravity. And it hurt. Oh, my gosh, did it hurt. It's like, ow, this didn't used to hurt when I was 12. So a rabies shot to me, being a doughhead, not penguin walking. You got to penguin walk in this ice and stuff. Also, it's the only time of year, in a positive way, that you can walk to work and be crunchy about it. Right. This is Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
Hey, it's James Raby. Thank you so much for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio on Demand podcast. I hope you'll subscribe and tune in Monday through Friday between 6 and 10 for more fun than you can shake a stick at.